Hi everyone. You're looking at a 1968 GTO deluxe steering wheel. I'm going to show you guys how to swap out this wheel with a 68 GTO sport wheel, also known as a wood wheel, which I got right here. So the whole operation should take about 15 minutes tops. It's not complicated. For tools, you're going to use a screwdriver. Well, you may need this, you may not. A small flat tip. This is used when you go to pop off the cap. If you have a lot of problem, if it's been on this so long, you can just wrap this with a soft cloth, kind of wedge it in to pop the cap off. So that's what that's for. You're gonna need a 3/4 a ratchet with a 3/4 inch socket. Okay, that's to take the bolt off that holds the wheel on, and also use the wheel puller, which I got here. That's the other thing you need, a wheel puller. I got this at AutoZone, 20 bucks, well worth it. Takes 5/16 bolts to use it. That's the size of the two holes within the wheel holding. And before you switch to a wood wheel, you're gonna need to get one of these. It's the horn contact for a wood wheel. It's just a spring with a little piece of like a little bolt, and that you're gonna need this for the contact for the horn to work on a wood wheel. I got mine at AutoZone for like $3. You can get it at Ames or eBay, wherever you want. It's called a wood wheel horn contact. You'll find it. So you're gonna need that, otherwise your horn won't work. So to do this, let's start. So the first thing is we're gonna take this cap off, and I'm gonna wrap up my spokes first, because I don't want to ruin it or ding it when I pop off the cap or drop something like a bolt. So let me pull this off. That came off pretty easy. Okay, next. Okay, we gotta take this bolt off. Well, actually, not next. First, we gotta take the horn contact out. That's right here. This horn contact is used for a deluxe wheel. You can just pull it out, and if it gives you any trouble, just use a needle nose and it pops right out. And that's out. And that's just similar to the horn contact for a wood wheel. It's just a spring with with a contact in it. Next, we got to take this bolt off. So it's 3/4 inch bolt. Should be pretty easy to take off. I'm going to do that now. That came off really easy. Okay, that's off. Now there's also a washer. You're gonna need that, so don't lose that washer. I'm just gonna put that back here for now. Now comes the wheel puller. So the wheel puller, it's pretty straightforward. You have two holes, and the two holes, you basically just put the wheel puller, put the 5/16 bolts in those two holes, and then we can use the wheel puller. So let's do that. Wrap this up again, and get some room. Okay. And you don't have to screw these in very far, but what I do is I count the number of turns on one screw and do the same number of turns on the other one. 6 turns should do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for good luck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna do one more for good luck. Another one. Okay, there you go. Now start turning this one. So it gets nice and snug. When it's nice and snug, you're good. This wheel, by the way, it'll pop out, but it's also got a spring behind it, and that'll come into play when we have to put the wood wheel on, because there's a little trick to getting it on. It takes a little bit of coordination. All right, so now it's just a matter of turning this until it pops. There it is. That didn't take long at all. One turn and it popped right off. Okay. All right, I'm done with the wheel puller. I don't need that tool anymore. So pull this off, and that's pretty much it. All right. Oops, sorry about that. All right, so let's get a closer look, and I'll show you what I mean about the contact. So there's the horn contact hole right there, and that's where what I showed you earlier, the spring goes into. There's no other one we have to do it. So that's that. Okay, next. The wheel, the wood wheel. Trying to find my 3/4 inch socket. I put it. Oh, it's on the wheel puller. All right. So, next, wood wheel. We got the wheel itself with the collar that this bolts to. Then we have the horn cap, or I should say the horn housing unit. That's this. So we have to put the wheel on, then we put the horn contact in the hole, and then we have to put this on and then bolt the whole thing in. It's going to require your legs unless you have another person to help. Fortunately, I'm 6 foot tall, so I have the legs to do it. But if you're a little bit shorter, you may have a little bit of trouble. So now, the other thing you're going to notice is that this wheel has a notch at 12 o'clock. I don't know if you can see it. That's how you put that goes up at 12 o'clock position. So the horn contact, I should say it's the wafer, there's a contact in the wafer, that needs to line up with that. And that's this piece right here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but there's a little piece in here. Right, it's right there. That's going to go in there, and I'll show you how to do that. So, back to notch, 12 o'clock. On your bolt that the wheel goes on, there's also a notch at 12 o'clock. And those two, you want them to line up. And when those line up, the horn contact hole lines up with the horn contact hole there. All right, so let's get this on. By the way, I took off my wheel last summer, and first time in 50 years it's probably been off, and it took a while, but I put a little bit of grease on that gear in there, just a little tiny bit, just to make it easier for next time, which obviously worked. So this just takes a little bit of coordination. You gotta line it up. Those gears gotta line up perfectly. And even though the notch might look like it's lined up, it still needs to be on just right. And this is probably the hardest part, other than taking the cap off. It's such a precise gear that's in there. Come on. Come on, I know you're lined up. Okay, there it is. Okay. So that's how it goes. All right, so again, hold on. So remember, it's the spring. She's got the spring. So I can't just put that bolt on. This is where it takes a little bit of coordination. So let me get the horn contact. It's important, don't forget to put this in, otherwise your horn won't work. So, one more time. Okay, that's in. Now is where my knees come in. I gotta hold it down. Doesn't take a lot of pressure, force, but you gotta hold it. Horn contact goes in. Okay. Now this is gonna go in, and I'm gonna look for that notch. That notch right there needs to go right there. So flip it over, and you'll know if it's right because after it goes on, wiggle it. If it moves just a little bit, it's good. If you put it on wrong, you're gonna be able to spin it like that. Okay, so that works perfect. By the way, I disconnected my horn. Otherwise, it'd be tooting all the time. All right, next, don't forget the washer. That goes on next. And I'm got a pet peeve. I like putting things on the exact same way I took things off. That's like that. Bolt is next. Same thing with this. I like putting it on exactly how I took it off. That's on. And at this point, I could take my knees off because the bolt's on. Let me get the ratchet. Let's bolt it in. Okay, and honestly, I don't know if there's a torque setting for this, but I'm just going to go until it feels about right. And that's about right. Okay. Okay. So next is the final thing is the cap. And this should do it. So the cap, we have these clips. This would be 3, one broke off. These line up with these 3 spots right here. So, but basically the arrow points, once the arrow points directly down on that bottom spoke, you know it's right. So that's all I'm going to do is just line up with that. And that should, there you go. And that's like, yeah, that's like perfect. Okay, so it's a wrap. 15 minutes. I think it's about 15 minutes and we're done. So good luck with your wheel when you swap it out later.